Hi, everybody. Welcome back to this week's episode of the City Confessions. Today, we are joined by Taylor Worden. She is a celebrity esthetician and she has a spa located in Soho. All of her facials are tailor-made as they are customized for each client's personalized needs. And I was so lucky to receive a facial last week, and I can say my skin is glowing if you're watching, and I just feel amazing. So, hi Taylor, welcome. And how are you doing this morning?
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm doing very well. And yes, your skin is glowing.
Oh my God, we have so much to talk about. So, I don't really know you, but I would love to just hear about your journey being an esthetician, and just tell us who you are and yeah, what you do.
Okay. My name is Taylor Worden. I'm originally from Tucson, Arizona. When I was about 11, I started to get acne and it got really bad. Started going to estheticians, different dermatologists. I did the whole like proactive, all those different things. And yeah, ultimately, I moved here when I was 19, still had very bad skin, went on Accutane, did a couple rounds of that, still had really bad acne after. But yeah, I just became obsessed with extracting pimples and just trying to help people with skincare. And I went to aesthetic school and kind of just never looked back.
And then how has been your journey thus far then? Because I feel like when you embark on a specific career or life path or like business, it's often like what you say, you have a personal like relationship and it affected you personally. So like how was that like? Like did you like what was the journey like? Like with your school and all of that?
Oh, I mean, it was amazing. I went to Dermalogica, learned a lot of stuff there, but after graduating, it's only 600 hours. And I wanted to find a mentor, someone that could take me under their belt and actually teach me all those other things, besides just because, 600 hours it's really not a lot of
Mm-hmm.
education, especially for your face.
Right.
So I got lucky enough to train with celebrity esthetician Georgia Louise. She took me under her wing and I started in the basement of her house. It was just the two of
Mhm.
us. And yeah, I did every job for her and learned from the best.
Yeah. And I know that you've worked with a lot of celebrities, and obviously your spa right now is located in New York City. And I just love that because you're here because it's called the City Confessions and you have a relationship with New York. So tell me about one, the getting your clientele. Like, what was that like? Because again, I don't want to like drop all these names, but you have an amazing roster. So how have you cultivated that?
It's referral based.
Yeah.
Basically, you just do one person well known, they go on their movie set and then they, tell all their friends or whomever and then you have 10 other people coming knocking at the door wanting to get a facial.
Mhm.
So, the work speaks for itself. Like you either have a glow or you don't.
No,
And
absolutely. And
so
then your spa is located in New York. So did you always know that it had to be in New York, one, and two, the location is in Soho, which is one of my favorite locations. So tell me about like, do like finalizing the location and creating that spa beautiful feel for your business.
Well, I used to work on the Upper East Side, and I'm a downtown girl. I rarely go above 14th Street.
Yes.
I don't really like to do the subway. I like to walk or
Yes.
Uber. And all I know is that when I started my own business, I just wanted to be able to walk to work, like just, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So I live right around the corner, and it works out because I'm here almost, 7 days a week sometimes. So I love the downtown, the everything that happens down here. It's
Mhm.
it's more me. I'm not an Upper East Sider. It's
Yeah.
the energy down here, the people. I have a lot of Tribeca moms, like a lot of models. My spa's on the second floor in this dingy old building that, it looks a little scary. But you go up the stairs, it's like a skin speakeasy, and then you walk in and it's beautiful. And it's like a
Mhm.
little hidden gem.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, I kind of got lost finding it, but once I was there, I was like blown away by the ambiance you've created and all the little details and decor. And I know that you mentioned that your mom actually helped you decorate, which I think is such a beautiful thing. So tell me about that.
So my mother, she's an entrepreneur, so she builds custom homes and does all the designing, and she's so good at it. She's so detail oriented, and you can give her a budget and she can find everything and it looks like it's worth a lot more. So, and it's so funny because I have a lot of interior decorating clients that come in and they're like, "Who was your decorator? Who was your decorator? Oh my God, I want to get her name." I'm like, "It was my mom." And a lot of the stuff is from IKEA, and or and like you have a couple nice pieces, but everything else you can just like mix in like from Overstock.com or Wayfair. So I'm like really blessed to have a mother that like just helped me and took over, and she's really good at that. So
Yeah, I love hearing that. And all of your facials are tailor-made, which I think is such a great added like touch to it. So I understand why, because everybody's skin is different and needs to be customized. So how do you go about it? Do you like look at their skin and then see what their quote unquote issues are, or
what kind of skin they have, what their goals are. Say if they have an event, if they have like an event in the next day or two, obviously I'm not going to extract, like everything on their face. But yeah, I just listen to what they have to say and what I see, because every time, your skin changes, it's not going to be the same. Like I just gave you a facial a couple days ago. If I give you a facial another 6 weeks, it probably won't be the exact same because your skin's going to be different. So that's pretty much how I do a lot of massage, machines, LED light, so all of that fun stuff.
And what are like the most common skin problems, I guess? Not necessarily with your clients, but just like in general. Like I know like maybe SPF is also like a recommendation that everybody says, like definitely wear it, even if it's, during the winter. But what are some other either advice and quick tips you have for like skincare, or like myths or anything, just educate us for a little.
So one thing that I keep seeing in people is people aren't cleaning their ears properly, and everyone's getting blackheads in their ears from those ear pods that they're constantly wearing. So I always check on the ears, behind the ears, and it's amazing. Like people just don't know how to like wash that area, or it's just the ear pods wearing constantly and not cleaning them. But so many blackheads can get in your ear from that.
I love
And
that
that's
you mentioned that, because that's what you did for me. I remember you were like touching my ear and I was like, I don't know what she's doing. I'm trusting the process. I'm trusting Taylor, but it is true because you don't realize that. And I'll be the first to admit, like, I wear my AirPods all the time and like, I
you never clean
definitely
them,
should
right?
be cleaning it more.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too, is like even in the shower, you should be, like washing inside your ears and behind your ears. And I can tell you, those blackheads in the ear, I mean, those things can get big and you can see them a mile away. So,
Yeah.
you know,
It's like not the most pleasant thing to say. Like, the TikTokers or the people who like do like the pimple popping, like I
hmm.
can't watch that. But
Oh,
like
I
there are
can.
people, yeah, people like you who like love it.
Oh, in the ear, it's like surgery. I love it. It's
Oh
like
my
one of my
God.
favorite
Oh,
things
I
because
can't.
people never clean that area. They have no idea. I'm like, that's been in there for 3 years.
Yeah.
What do you want to name it? Like, I love that type of stuff.
Okay, so I think another question is for people who maybe have never gotten a facial,
Mhm.
like when should they start? Is there a rule of like too early, or like what are the rules of having a facial and how often?
I mean, I think it's always a great idea if you start like in your teenage years, just because you can learn the basics of simple skincare, wearing sunscreen every day, exfoliating, using a vitamin C. Because, sometimes I have people that come in when they're 50 and it's like a little, not that it's too late, but it's just, they missed all these years of where they could have gotten great advice on how to like tweak their skincare routine and, to help them. So I always just say, definitely like teens to early 20s, because you want to start using that eye cream when you're young. That'll, and the sunscreen, those two things are huge.
And then you mentioned 6 weeks before. Is that the general like time not time difference, time frame of when your last visit should be, or like how often should you get a facial?
I always say every 4 to 6 weeks. That might be too much for some people, but if you can't do that, then I say every season. So at least 4 times a
Mm,
year, because your skin's going to be completely different in the winter versus the summer. It's going to have different needs and different things that we need to take care of. So
mhm.
definitely at least a minimum 4 times.
Got it.
So,
And then obviously, like looking back at your journey thus far, like what is like the biggest highlight, whether it was a specific client that you had or a specific moment? What moment like stands out to you?
Mm, well, I mean, being in the New York Post was my favorite moment. I
Wait,
know
when
it's
was
really
that?
cheesy. It was like top 25 things to do in New York City now that it's like reopened. And I was so excited to be in print work. I was massaging this guy's face. And yeah, just I was just so excited because I posted this video of me massaging his face to this song called, Pretty Woman. It's super cheesy, but the New York Post reached out and they wanted me to, share that. So that was like top one of my
Oh, I
favorites.
love that. And it was pretty recent, right? Because you said it was during things like or were reopening.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. And then on the flip side, what has been like the biggest challenge? And I'm curious to know, sorry, I'm asking like two questions, but with COVID, your job is so in person, is so hands-on. So how do you go like what was that?
well, COVID was, I had just opened up my spa 6 months prior to COVID. So it was
Oh,
really annoying that COVID
yeah.
happened. Um, like I was just getting started and everything was going so well. And then I had to shut down for about 7 months. So that was really tough. But, things are getting better. People are starting to come back. They're not as
Hmm.
scared. I mean, I obviously wear a mask. I have gloves
Hmm.
when I do the practices, when I do
Hmm.
the facials. So, very safe. But yeah, definitely COVID. And you know what's so annoying about COVID too is that all these people wear masks and they're too scared to get facials, yet they're getting like all these, like angular cheilitis or like they're getting halitosis because they're wearing the same mask. You're breathing in and out. It's like
Yeah.
dirty air, and they're getting all these bumps, but they're too scared to get a facial. But then they'll go, go get their nails done.
No,
It's
you're right. It's I mean,
annoying and
there's
just like, yeah,
contradictions everywhere. Yeah.
yeah,
It
yeah.
is also weird because I feel like with COVID, a lot of people would not wear that much makeup. But then, like you said, on the flip side, having the mask kind of didn't really help with.
No, the mask is disgusting. And I see some clients, they come in and they take it off and it's orange in the inside
Mhm.
because they're still wearing makeup,
Makeup. Yeah.
all this makeup. And I'm like, you
Yeah.
know how disgusting that is? And I'm
Yeah.
like, how old is this mask? You should be like
Yeah.
going through like 5 of these a
Oh,
day because it's
absolutely. Yeah.
dirty.
I know.
Gross.
That's another thing too. It's like COVID teaches or taught us to be more more like what is it? What's the right word? Like
Cleanliness.
hygiene,
Yeah, hygienic.
hygienic, or like just aware. But then there's all these other things. So it's like you honestly can't win. It's not.
Well, it's funny because like they'll wash their hands 1,000 times a day and have dry hands, but they won't wash inside their ears.
Mhm. Yeah.
So they still have
Just
black lips
gotta
in their ear.
educate us
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
Okay, so I know you know that one of my questions is what keeps you up at night? And I think when I say it out loud, it sounds like a really simple question, which it kind of is. But I feel like how many times do your like girlfriends or your mom calls you and asks you like, girl, are you stressed out? Like what's going on? Because I feel like we're often just so either really busy and focused in our own lives, but we don't really take time to be in tune with our feelings. And even if we do, we don't really vocalize it. So like what's happening with you? Like are you stressed out by anything or are you
I
good?
mean, I feel like I'm a Virgo, so I feel like I get stressed out over the smallest things ever. And I don't know what it is, but especially that's why I like to watch my reality TV at night because that's
Mm,
what relaxes me. But I know definitely during COVID, I would stress out and like wake up and pace around
mm,
my house
mhm.
because you just don't know what's going to happen. And I'm such an organized, planned out person. You know, certain things are
Yeah.
supposed to happen at certain times. So
It's
yeah.
funny that you say you're a Virgo. I mean, I'm really into astrology and I feel like it's so perfect for what you do.
I
And I
know.
bet you are like anal about your skincare routine for sure.
Yeah,
Do
extremely.
you have like a 10 step or like how
Yeah,
in
it definitely changes day to day, like depending like what my skin needs, but it is a little extreme.
Mhm.
It's definitely longer in the winter than the summer. But yeah, it can be.
Yeah.
So,
And then I'm always so curious, like when you are a specific like profession like that, do you often just give yourself facials or do you personally have a facialist?
I do both. I think it's really important to continue learning.
Okay.
So like whenever I go to LA or London or wherever, I'm like I Google see who the top facialists are and then like to go try them because that's only going to make me a better facialist.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I need to know like what other people are doing and you'll learn something from it. Like, oh, I like how she did that and I'll add that into my services and
Mm-hmm.
see what happens.
Yeah.
So
Do you reveal that you're an esthetician though, or do you kind of just go in?
It depends because not everyone is very they're like, no, I don't want to do you because you're an esthetician. It just depends. Yes and no.
Yeah, I didn't even know because I mean sometimes they don't really ask you like what you do though. They kind of just like look at you as like a regular
Mhm.
client and just like work on you.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's funny though, I can always tell whenever I have a esthetician in my bed. Like
Really?
they won't tell me they're an esthetician, but just some of the answers they write on the consultation form, I'm like, you're an esthetician. And they're like, oh my gosh, how do you know? I'm like, just because you answered that like how I
What do
would
they
answer.
write? Like
Just
what are
they're
the
very specific. They go from step to step to step, like exactly what. And most people can't remember like what
yeah,
vitamin C or what serum, or they
yeah,
forget the name. But when it's so specific and they, say, oh, you can just tell. It's just
yeah,
funny. You can
yeah.
tell.
Okay, I have to ask you like a random question, but like J Lo skin, right?
Mhm.
Beautiful, flawless.
Amazing.
Like she like doesn't age, but like apparently she says she doesn't. I don't know. There wasn't what did she say that she used? Some type of
Olive
oil.
oil.
Yeah.
Yes.
So from your professional opinion, is that like not that she's lying, but like what is your opinion on like celebrity skin and like do you think it can truly be, that healthy looking by just skincare?
Well, okay, first of all, JLo's beautiful and her skin is like impeccable.
Mm-hmm.
She has very tiny pores. It's so annoying. I find it so annoying whenever celebrities try to create a brand, in skincare and they just slap their name on it and
Mm-hmm.
pretend, they know what they're talking about. And then everyone runs out and buys it. Because, JLo's not just using olive oil on her face. She probably gets, facials all the
Right.
time. She does lasers. She does all these other things. So that's kind of annoying because I kind of wish they would just stick in their own
Yeah.
lane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, just
That's
because
just
like they don't know anything about it. They didn't go to the school. They haven't had experiences. they
mhm.
it's kind of not fair.
Yeah. But once you're J Lo, you can do anything.
Yeah.
Okay, so all the tools that exist in the beauty world, like what are your thoughts? Like with a jade roller, the what is it called? The gua sha.
Marsha,
Yeah. There's also like that mask that I've seen with the lights,
the LED mask.
the
Uh-huh.
LED mask. Obviously, I think the one that you use is also the crystal, like, right? Wasn't it crystal base, or am I thinking of something else? Where you like put it on and
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. The
yeah.
crystal. Yeah.
So like
Yes.
all of those, do you think I mean, I know the Jade Roller on all of that works, but like, are some of them just like, not helpful?
I think so. I mean, it's so funny because people will buy like a jade roller that's like $200 when really you can buy one for like 15, you
Yes.
know?
Okay.
Um, I mean, I think they feel nice. I mean, it's not going to change your face completely, but it feels nice if you put it in the fridge and then do a
Hmm.
mask or like
Hmm.
say you have puffy eyes and you need to take down the puffy. I mean, it feels amazing. I think people get really excited with gadgets and tools.
Yes. Because they
Um,
want like an easy fix.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I know I like to try everything. So I know I'll buy stuff, try it, and then it just sits on my shelf and collects
Hmm.
dust because there's so much stuff out there. And a lot of them are very similar. They're just branded different, you know? Um,
No, yeah. You're right about the Jade Roller because I've seen from like a more high-end brand definitely selling it for like 100, 200 plus, and you can get on Amazon for like $10. But I'm always like, is there really a difference? No,
I
right?
know. Same thing with the Cryo Sticks. People are like, "Oh, you got
Mhm.
to buy it from this brand. It's $150." I'm like, "No, you can buy on Amazon for 10.
Yeah.
They're wine coolers. You can also supposed to put them in your wine when
Yeah.
your wine you want it to be chilled." So yeah, I think like it's just smart marketing. So
Okay. That's good to know because
yeah,
I'm like, I'm happy with my $10 Jade Roller.
always expensive isn't better. So that's
Mhm.
what I always say.
Yeah. Okay. And then as we are obviously like not wrapping up, but got the warm up out of the way, my podcast is called The City Confessions. So I would love to ask you, Taylor, if you can share a city confession. And I'm curious to know if you have anything that's like beauty related, because I think it's just like gonna be relevant to who you are and the topic, but of course it's however you receive it. So if you can share a confession, what would that be?
One, I think I already said it. I mean, I had really bad acne. Like, if I were to show you photos, you probably wouldn't recognize me. Um, Another confession is, oh, I moved here and I wanted to actually be a comedian.
Really?
Yeah, I know. I'm really not that funny.
Like a stand-up?
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah.
Oh my God, did you go on, did you try it at all?
I mean, yeah, I had it. It was gonna be called "I'm a Delicate Flower." Yeah, with like all my stories of life, and mostly about my mom. It never really took off. So
Yeah. Oh my God, I love hearing that. Yeah, I would have never thought like a
I know.
comedian turned esthetician. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have one more question though. And of course it's if you're comfortable sharing, but like I think a lot of us struggle obviously with insecurities, especially with skin, like as a teenager, like people go through puberty all the time. So I love that you utilize that um phase in your life for the better, for like your career.
Mhm.
But just and I think nowadays with social media and like kids and all that, I don't see that they go through that awkward phase. Like 13-year-olds look so
Mate,
beautiful.
they look like they're 21.
I know. And I'm like, you
That
look
wasn't
better
me.
than me. And I'm like, where's your awkward phase? So it's like, I don't know. I don't, it's not even a question. It's just more of like observations that I've known. Like obviously, like you're sharing, what you went through. I'm sure a lot of people have gone through that weird phase and like insecurities. And now it's like, it's not even insecurity anymore. It's more like pressure to, I don't know. I don't even know what
It's
I'm trying to.
so funny. I have to say this. So when I was like 13, I gained weight. I had really bad acne and I had braces and glasses. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, and I had really short hair. I was so ugly. I mean, I it's so funny. My mom organized all our photo albums according to before Taylor's awkward phase, during my awkward phase, and after, because I looked so weird.
Yeah.
I looked so
No,
bad.
I feel you. I have braces and glasses too. Like I think everybody did. And
Yeah.
that's why it's just like crazy because I'm not saying, oh, I wish Generation Z would go through that or experience that because that's just, I guess, not the time that we live in now.
Mhm.
But I guess their other set of problems is like constantly wanting to like, I don't know, look a certain way where
Yeah.
we didn't really have that. Yeah, go ahead.
I also think it makes you appreciate things like because I had such bad skin and all these other things, and now I appreciate, like the little things in life,
Mm-hmm.
versus some of these young girls that look like they're 13, that are 13, that look like they're 21, and,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they've
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
had a pimple or,
Yeah.
it's like that
Yeah. And I feel like what's like they're almost like rushing their
to hurry up and be an adult.
adolescence. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like looking back now, it's like enjoy being a kid, enjoy being quote
Yeah.
unquote ugly.
Yeah, don't get your nails done when you're 13. Like you're gonna have
Yeah.
to when you're adult, like enjoy being a kid. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
No, I said the same
Yeah.
thing. Okay, I have a quick fire round for New York questions. It's going to be five of them, and you could just say the first word or sentence that comes to your mind when I ask them.
Okay.
Okay, are you ready? Okay. If you can describe New York City in one word, what would it be?
Amazing.
What's your favorite thing about the city?
I the energy, just like what people watching.
Mhm. What is your least favorite thing?
sometimes the smells.
It always smells. Um, what's your favorite restaurant or food in New York?
Ugh, okay, I love Lafayette for brunch. I love Osteria Marini. Their Cappelletti is so amazing. And of course, those are both downtown. So,
Yes, love it. And if you can thank New York City for one thing, what would it be?
thank you for, thank you, New York City, for being my home. Like, I moved here so young and it's definitely my home now. So,
No, I love that because it's my home
yeah.
too. So it's like when people
Yeah.
like have shared common grounds or values or interests, it's what like glues people.
Mhm.
Okay, great. And then right now is your chance to plug away. So I'm gonna have all of your description in the show notes and for people watching in the description. But what can the world be on the lookout from you, Taylor, in this year? Or if there's anything you want to share, feel free to do so now.
So I'm not like a big teller. I kind of like to keep things
Me
private
too.
until it's 100%
Yep.
because I'm a Virgo and I just don't like to, I don't want to speak about it or talk about it and, get it, just want to have the good luck with it. So definitely something in a year, there'll probably be something happening. I'm not going to say what. But then you know what's going to happen is people are going to ask you constantly, where's this? What's that?
Yeah, that's
It's just,
true.
it's just
I'm the
too
same
stressful.
way. I'm the
I'm
same
just
way.
like until it's ready to go, you won't even, know about it.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
so
You're
yeah.
just gonna pull one of those like Kylie, Kylie
Oh
Jenner.
yeah.
I'm pregnant.
I'm
I had a
pregnant. Yeah, about to
baby.
have a baby. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
you're gonna do. Yeah, I'm the same
Yeah.
way. I'm like very like I don't know, like I don't want to jinx it. And then like you're right. If
Yeah.
people keep asking you, I mean, it could be good that they hold you accountable, but then you're like, let me get it
Do
done
my
first.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
So I'm
sometimes
the
the
same
time
way.
takes it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Okay, and my last question is, what is your superpower?
my superpower.
Mhm.
Ugh. Oh my God. I mean, I can see a chin hair or a blackhead, I guess, a mile away.
Don't you have the tendency to like do something then? I bet you.
Oh my God, all the time. I have to sometimes tell myself, no, 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 Taylor,
Do you have
be
like
normal.
tools in your bag when you go out?
No, I don't. But sometimes it's really hard for me to like listen to someone, like watch their eyes when I can see like a hair or
Oh
something.
my
I'm like, oh
God.
my God, just please let me get that for you.
Oh my God, I love that. Okay. Well, thank you so much for talking to us all about skin, New York, beauty, the whole randomness that comes with doing a regular podcast with me. I do appreciate you taking time out of your day, and I also appreciate you working on my skin. And for those listening, be sure to follow Taylor on Instagram. Again, I'm gonna have all the information in the show notes. And definitely book a facial with her because your skin will thank you later. All right. Thank you, Taylor. We'll talk
Thank you
soon.
so much.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.